We buy so many things, but what is the end of life for these products that we buy? Someone comes to our home, we call him a kabadi wala, a waste picker, a waste aggregator, and they are collecting this waste and taking it with them. And as people, as individuals, once that person has taken it, we are done. We are not bothered what happens to it. But there is a big story which continues once this waste has been collected. East Delhi's, Mustafabad, 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝒄, these are places where waste would get aggregated from across the country, from where they would travel to either, multiple cities in UP like Loni, Muradabad, where they would be informally treated. It would mean using cyanide-based acid baths for extraction of certain types of metals, open-air burning of fires, and this has caused significant amount of human and environmental impacts. India generates roughly, anywhere between 3 to 5 million tons of electronic waste in a year. This amount of waste is going to grow. A question to my own self was that, what could be my role in all this? The only answers I got was, this is impossible, this sounds difficult, this will not happen. India is not too ready, informal sector is too large, this is cash trade, there is mafia. Indian government in 2017 started the journey wherein they gave targets to brands to collect waste. Then came in the idea of Karo Sambhav, which translates to make it possible. Government's effort in this direction was to set up a system which will enable producers to create collection channels, ensure that whatever waste is collected is sent for recycling, and further that recycled content is used back for creating new products. So companies like Apple, Dell, HP, they became primary members, and today we have over 40 brands who are members of Karo Sambhav. Three aspects of organization fundamentally. The first was creating this ecosystem which will allow industry frameworks to evolve. Second was being inclusive so that informal sector can be integrated. And third, how do we use technology to solve this problem? When we started, our first focus was this is a behavioral shift, and behavioral shift doesn't happen in a day. So the very first program that we launched was a school program. Till date, we have engaged with over 2,900 schools. The second is setting up of collection systems. How do I work with repair shops, because people also sell them their waste? How do I go to an individual household to collect the waste? How do I go to an office complex to collect the waste? So these are different channels which we have focused on for collecting the waste back from the market. The biggest channel by far is the informal sector channel. When Karo Sambhav was started, our first focus was on formalizing the informal sector. Now, saying it is easy, but believe me, it is not. Majority of the work used to happen in cash, and a formal sort of work would mean digital transactions, it would mean accountability of money, it would mean paying taxes. We encourage them to set up a registered entity which can be tracked and to whom we can pay money digitally. Today we have over 5,000 plus waste pickers and aggregators in our system. Over a few hundred companies have been formed under this initiative. Karo Sambhav has directly, just in the e-waste space, we have done transactions over 65 crores with the informal sector. Today, Karo Sambhav has roughly 45 collection centers across the country. Via the collection centers, we roughly collect anywhere between 20 to 40 tons a day, and this waste is sent to a recycler. What we also realized is there are a lot of waste fractions for which we really don't have the best answers in terms of recycling. For example, when we talk of a laptop, you start opening a laptop, it has multiple types of plastics. Apart from that, there will be glass, there will be acrylic, there would be a printed circuit board with all its chipsets, there would be a hard drive, there would be body cover which will have some aluminum. And what is important is to find answer for each of these fractions. What is generally being talked in e-waste is the dialogue is generally limited to printed circuit board or place where precious metals are present. We can't just have answers to some things and let other things go to a TSDF or for incineration. That is not in the long run an acceptable answer. So we started with electronics but are now working in plastics packaging. We are working in batteries waste management, and also very recently we are starting to work in glass. Sambhav is working with PACE, which is Pet Packaging Association for Clean Environment. And PACE is essentially a consortium of 35 plus large companies which roughly account for 60% of the total plastics being put on the Indian market, and almost 90% of the PET being put in the country. Today we don't see any debates on why should this be done. We see a good amount of debates on how it should be done, and that is a big progress. However, there are a whole range of challenges. So what we need today to solve this problem is bringing accountability to the system. If we have to act now and fast. If we are unable to solve the problem within the next 5 to 7 years, then probably we'll have missed the bus.